You've talked a lot, Dan, about the difference between performance medicine and sick care.
Mhm.
And I'm curious if you could give us a breakdown on what you see as the problems with the conventional healthcare system, and then how you define and think about the other lens and approach you're bringing to the table, which is performance medicine.
Yeah, and I really didn't understand systems and the human system when I was in medical school. I learned the anatomy, the physiology, the biochemistry. I learned all about the liver and the heart. We learned about individual pieces within that. But nothing was about creating a more enjoyable life for people. It was all about let's postpone death as long as we can, but it's a stepwise drop that you just try to slow down. And that didn't go well for me. So I ended up going into general and vascular surgery, did that for about 10 years, but I started doing what was called back then age management medicine, where it was the only form of medicine I knew of that was about taking, pretty normal or healthy people and helping to boost them to a higher level of functioning. And so after doing that for a couple of years, I just said, this is what I want to do. This is the way medicine was supposed to be practiced. And I just walked away from surgery one day and I said, I'm done, and started this company with my wife. And it's been a passion of ours to really help change the medical paradigm, because we're in a paradigm where we look at a very linear aspect of this system. And, in simple and complicated systems, linear is the way it goes. So you have this system going to this system. So if you double this input, you double this output over here. That's the simple or complicated system. And that works fine for like airplanes, robots, whatever you're dealing with from a programmable aspect. But the human system, it's complex, adaptable. And when you look at the definition of that, everything is about interrelationships, interdependence of all these different systems within the body. And you need to take all of that into consideration. I mean, we know this just like if we give epinephrine. Well, we can give epinephrine and the heart will increase. Now, if we give twice the amount of epinephrine, does it double? No, it doesn't double at all. In fact, it barely goes up much higher. And that's because there's local feedback mechanisms at the heart level. And each organ system and subsystems within those have feedback loops. And they get input from a dozen, sometimes hundreds of different areas they have to summate the signal there. So you never get an output that is directly correlated with a input in that regard. And that's one of the problems I had with the mantra of functional medicine, which I got into because I saw it as an alternative to, the current system of algorithmic medicine. But what I found is that in functional medicine, there was a lot of disease care. It was just done with supplements and all that. It wasn't about increasing performance and my feeling is, and it's the feeling in most of the age rejuvenation industry is, what is the one thing that we can do that will make a huge difference in diseases in the future? And that's to optimize the system now. Make the system so it's anti-fragile. So when it hits stress, not only does it just survive it and get back to baseline, it actually gets stronger through that. And that's our philosophy in approaching really the human body aspects of optimization.
If what you've heard on Flow Research Collective Radio has been helpful, please consider doing us a solid and leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening to this. Reviews help us connect to a wider audience so we can get these peak performance principles out to more people.